Good morning, class. Finally, you can hear my nice voice. I still have a little bit coughing, a little bit stuffy nose. Somehow I lost my smell. I can't smell anything. I think I lost a little bit of the taste as well. Can't taste sweet. I can taste sour. So, and then my thumb joint was hurting, and somehow today it moved to my elbow. So it kind of, I think the virus kind of attacked the joint as well. So so I'm still debating. I feel guilty not to do this face-to-face, but at the same time also worry, you know, might give the virus to you guys or to whoever.
I can't hear over the fan and Dave.
Sorry? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, let me mute. I think I need to do mute when enter, because some of you guys didn't know you are not mute. Let me see, where's the setup? Mute. Okay. So I know there's some confusion last week. Some people went to class and didn't, you know, I forgot to record whatever we talked about last week. So let me just, you know, kind of review the syllabus again. So this class, I already announced you can choose to do it online. And you can also choose to do it face-to-face, which still virtual now. And also, and I just found out next Monday, Wednesday, I have appointments in the morning. So next Monday, I might not be able to do it virtually. So I will record the lecture and then post it online. Okay, so on Monday you don't have to be here at 11. You can just watch the recording. Wednesday, my appointment was at 9:30. I'm not sure if I can be home at 11. So I'm still thinking. So I'll let you guys know. Okay. Like I mentioned, the first day of class, I was assigned to teach this class few days before school starts. So those appointments were made long time ago. I didn't know I would have Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So, you know, please tolerate with my, I don't know what's the word to say this, like, you know, I have a lot of appointment made on Monday and Wednesday because, you know, I didn't know I have class. So, so basically this class, you have 3 things you need to do: test, final project, podcast project. A lot of you guys were already signed up for the podcast project. So let's go to podcast project. Okay. So basically, if you can see on the screen, there's a link. You can click on the link. That's the episode list for how I build this with Guy Ross. So you can click and then select the link. I mean, go to the link and then find the episode. Before that, you should also click this form. I don't know if you guys, can you guys see that? Like when I move the mouse there, you actually, can you see the link for the Google Doc?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So basically you click that and you will see, you know, it's first come, first serve. whoever already picked particular episode, you cannot do the same thing, okay? So I saw that some people already choose Coinbase, Burstbees, what is this? I saw this Chipotle. Okay, so make sure you pick something different. And if you could, post the link of your episode in the end and then select the date. So the date will be on D2L under discussion. We have several dates and we only allow 3 people for each date. Okay, so April 1st, we have 2. I think March 4th is already 4. We already have 3. February 4th have 2. And then February 11th have 2. March 11th have 1. So on and so forth. So pick a date that is not 4 yet. April 1st have only 2. Okay, so if you pick certain date, you need to post your takeaways and the summary of that particular episode under discussion board under that particular date. Okay, and use your name, full name, as the title of your post. Let me see somebody. Okay, so so this is the administrative stuff. And let me go back to the syllabus. So final project, you can either do a very short version of the business plan, basically discuss the your idea, and then how we will talk about it in more details in chapter 6, what should be included in the business plan. So you just need a abbreviated version. Or you can interview a small business owner, ask the owner about his or her experiences of running their own business, like what are the challenges, what do they like the most, what they don't like, and personal achievement, any advice they could give to the future entrepreneurs or the small business owners. And then we have 3 tests on D2L. Under the 3 tests, you should be able to see, I think, how many chapters? 15 or 17? 17 chapters. So you will see 17 quizzes. That's just for your practice, because all the 3 tests are from the quiz questions. Okay, so if you practice the quiz, you should be able to do well on the test. And if you choose to do this face-to-face, you will have 10% attendance. But if you choose to do it online, at least 10%, the 30 points will be spreaded by final project and podcast. So you have 25% in final project, 25% in podcast. But you do need to email me, let me know you choose to do online. If you choose to do online, then you don't have to come to our Zoom, or you don't have to come to the class when we have face-to-face. Any questions so far? No questions? Okay. Well, I have 22 students here. Wow. I never had that many in my Zoom. So let's start by chapter 1. Chapter 1 is just a basic introduction of the small business management. Why do we need to study small business management? Okay. Personally, I forgot to introduce myself last time. So let me introduce you myself a little bit. My bachelor degree was in political science. My dad was a politician, so I thought I would be a politician as well. And so I was majoring in political science, but then I realized I'm really horrible with faces. one time we had our former president visiting our campus with a group of people. You know, he has a lot of security. And I was like across the street with my friend, and I was like, who is that old guy? Why does he have so many people following him? And my friend stared at me. My friend was like, oh my God, Daisy, don't tell me you're a political science major. How are you going to be a politician if you can't even recognize the former president? It's not in US, it's in Taiwan. Okay, so, but it doesn't make our president less famous, you know, in Taiwan. But I still you know, couldn't recognize him. So and I realized, like, our advisor told us we have to like read so many different newspapers, follow the politics and stuff. I could never read it. And whenever I go to at that time we had libraries, and library had newspaper stands. Whenever I go to different newspaper stands, I would just read the entertainment news. I don't want to read the politics, you know, about politics. So after a few years working, I decided to get my MBA. And it turns out I'm very good with numbers. I'm sensitive with numbers. So when I was in MBA, I was majoring in finance. And I actually did the CFA test. They have 3 levels. So I finished level 1 and level 2. Just when I was about to take level 3, I got acceptance to the PhD program. I got acceptance letter. They offer scholarship. So I decided to go. And I thought, oh, if I'm going to be a professor in management, because I choose management at that time, the school told me they only management department has scholarship. The finance department didn't have scholarship. So I choose management. And then I thought, okay, so I didn't go to the CFA level 3 exam. So that's it with finance. Personally, I love traveling. I've been to all 50 states in US and been to maybe more than 50 countries. My father is a true entrepreneur. He had, I don't even remember, maybe more than 20 business when I grew up, but a lot of them failed. Only few actually were successful. So I actually know a lot about, you know, small business or / you know, family business, because I'm from a huge family. When I grew up, we have 4 generations living together. So my great grandma, she at that time was like 80 something. She passed away when she was, I think 98. But I remember she was chasing us when we were little with sticks. So she would chase us with stick, and then, you know, yeah. Anyway, so so I don't really have degree in small business, but I grew up with different small businesses, and I can share my experience. And of course, you know, I would prefer if you guys can share some of the experiences with me. They will be, I think they will make the class more fun. Okay, so the purpose of this class is try to understand, you know, the different operations of small business. What do we need to pay special attention to? What's the difference between small business and maybe big corporations? Okay. And then for this chapter, we are going to just kind of go through some of the unique contributions of small businesses, and maybe some current problems the small business face, and then maybe some trend challenging the small business owner or entrepreneurs. And for the slides, it's not updated yet, but we could put in, especially, you know, we experienced COVID. So what impact COVID bring to the small business? We can also kind of discuss it, and, you know, feel free to talk. If you are shy, you don't want to talk, put it in a chat box, okay? Type in your reaction in a chat box. So let's see here. Let's see this one. So the why small business is important, because there are so many small business out there, and then more and more are, you know, growing. You know, people like to start a small business, and especially for you guys. I think are you guys Gen Z or millennials? I think, are you guys? Let me think.
I think we're Gen Z.
You are already Gen Z. Okay, so Gen Z. So a lot of complaint we heard, like, you know, from moms or from older people, the Gen Zs are so difficult. You guys don't take shit, right? So I have a student who is millennials, I think, yeah. They graduate about 15 years ago, and they started their own small business. Like, I have a student I just visited during New Year's. I went to Texas, and she started her bubble tea. How many of you had bubble tea? Bubble tea. Do you guys know what bubble tea is?
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so she started her bubble tea store in Dallas, Texas. And so I asked her, so what's your, like, what do you hate the most, or, you know, what's the issue when you are, you know, managing the store? She's like, oh my God, the employees. She said, you know, the young people, it's so difficult to manage them, and it's difficult to train them. And if I got impatient and kind of yell at them, they quit. And she's like, she's still young, you know, she's at her 30s, early 30s. So she's like, she's not she's like late 30s. So she said, I remember I wasn't like that. When the boss says something, we listen. So I think with this new trend, it's one way to look at it is more difficult to hire new people, to train new people for small business. And the other way is, because of that, I know a lot of young people like you guys, you want to run your own business for sure, right? Even my daughter, she's 13 now. She would talk about, you know, she, like, now you guys, like, a lot of her friends say they want to be a YouTuber. Okay, so I think it's, if you are running your YouTube channels or whatever channels you use, or TikTok, you know, TikTok or TikTok. So TikTok. So even that, you know, you have to maybe start your business to do that, and it could be very profitable, right? So that shows that there are more and more people want to have their own business. So the number of small business is growing, okay? And people want to be their own boss, because, you know, they don't want to take shit from anybody else. So, and then I think you guys, younger people, are more brave. So you think you should try. And I believe you, I think when you're young, you should try. Yeah, not, you know, when like me, it's not like I'm old, but I already have kids, and, you know, we have to support the kids. So it will be a little bit more difficult for me to take the risk. But you guys, are still okay. You know, you can still take risk, I think. So that's why I think business are growing, small business are growing rapidly, okay? So the small business actually create 75%. Oh shoot, I have to take this. I have a phone coming. Let me mute, okay? Okay, so that's my brother got a jury duty later, and he already moved back to Taiwan. So he forwarded all the mail to me, and I got this later, and I just called them this morning. They just called back. So, you know, I have to pick up the phone. Yeah. So, where was I? Oh, so actually, even though small business, how we define small business is in US is a business with less than 500 employees. So even though small businesses hire less than 500 people, but because we have so many small businesses, so actually small business create 75% of the new job. And then the actual employee, 50% of the private workforce in US. Okay, and then because it's small, so it represents 99% of the employers, 97% of exporters. So only 3% exporters are large corporations. And then there are some magazines, the Black Enterprise and Entrepreneur Inc., Hispanic Business, Fortune Small Business, you know. And nowadays we have a lot of online informations we can kind of go over. So if you are interested, you can, you know, look up information online. And then for the self-employed by industry, 47% is agriculture, forestry, fishing, hunting. And then 27 construction, 21 business service. Okay. So, and then 12% financial activities, so on and so forth. So those are the self-employed by industry. So small business have to have at least 2 features. So their management is independent, okay? It's not public. So the manager usually owns the business, and the capitals, the ownership is owned by maybe one person or only few. And the area of their business, where they do business, usually local, but sometimes a lot of small business, they also do exporting, okay? And some are actually famous. And so the business is small, just in terms of comparison. Sometimes the small business could be large, like, you know, imagine a company with 300, 400 people. It's still not really that small, right? Compared to when we really say the, how do you call that? Micro business, you know, like I have my own business, but it's just me, one person business, okay? So it's more for tax purpose than making income. So for the entrepreneurial venues and small business, the difference is entrepreneurial venue, sometimes they do have potential to grow, and their principal objectives is to get profit and to grow. For small business, sometimes it would be, I think, a lot of times it's like self-sufficient, okay? Their goal is not to really create huge profit, but to be sustainable. And sometimes it's also a lifestyle option, okay? And small business owner, their goal is making just a profit. But for entrepreneur, their goal might be they want to be innovate, and they will have more strategies in terms of, you know, growing their business. So those are a little bit different. So, but there are overlaps as well. There are some small business owners, they are entrepreneur, and then some business owners might not be that entrepreneurial, but, you know, and I believe the younger generations, with all the information you have, I think most of you are, you know, could be entrepreneurial. So the unique contribution of small business is because we are small, sometimes a lot of things, you know, we can't really do easily. So we need to be more flexible and sometimes be a little bit creative, okay? So small business actually encourage innovation and flexibility. So sometimes when we try to do something, we might not have enough money, so we will need to be a little bit more creative, okay? And and then some of the small business owners, or we say entrepreneurial, they are risk taker. They want to take risk, and of course, there are some risk. What's the avoider? Like they try to avoid risk, okay? And then small business would create new jobs, so generate new employment. And sometimes some people, it depends. Some people prefer the small business type of environment. You know, it's like family. It feels like family, you know. Sometimes it's, of course, it's real family, but sometimes the small business give you a sense of family. So it feels like you are working with your family. The current problems the small business faces is maybe some recessions, and especially COVID. I think the major issue I see now is the employment. You know, And a lot of bigger corporations, like even Walmart raised their minimum wage to $15 per hour. And I don't know how many small business can afford that, you know? So I think before pandemic, what's the minimum wage in Pennsylvania? Maybe $9? Is it $9 or $10? So it's actually, you know, if you look at the percentage, it's a lot. It's 50% compared to 15 compared to 10. It's 50% increase in wages. So, and during the pandemic, a lot of small business closed because, you know, people are not really consuming, you know. So one of the issue is the financing issue for small business. And then sometimes it's the retirement or, you know, the, how do you call that, descendant. So there's nobody to, succession to take over your position. Like my dad's business. Nobody wants it, you know. When we were younger, when we didn't know what we want to do, he would say, oh, I have 2 brothers and then me and my sister. So we have 2 girls, two boys. So he would say, okay, how many percent goes to girls? How many percent goes to boys? And the boy would take over the company and stuff like that. And then at that time, I remember my brother always say, it's okay, we don't need it. You can pass it on to the sisters. And then I will be like, oh, it's okay. You know, we were not interested at all in his business. Yeah. And it's yeah, so it's just, so it's difficult. And I'm sure a lot of you also, if your family has business, think you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, sometimes you just are not interested. But I also know there are people, they are willing to help. They're willing to stay in the family business and help. So that's actually very good. So either way, but those are, you know, some common issues small business will face. And then one major issue is inadequate financing. Growing up, my dad also has that kind of issue a lot, but he's lucky. My mom is a teacher. So teacher has a very stable income, and they have a lot of, like in Taiwan, there are a lot of loans. How do you call that? Like special loans teachers can get with very low interest or even no interest. So my dad used that a lot. Okay, so that's and nowadays for small business, you know, if you go to SBA, Small Business Administration, they also have a lot of opportunity to get extra funding, but you know, you do have to apply. You have to, you know, write the reason how you are going to use it. So I think with the business training you receive here, you should be able to do that, you know, not easily, but you know, you should be able to do that. So there are a lot of ways to get funding nowadays, especially for minorities. You know, there are several maybe grants or very low interest loan you can get for women, women run small business or minority run small business. So, and sometimes the when you run small business, you know, it's the one person management. You a lot of time you have to do everything, but it will be too much for you to do everything. And on the other hand, sometimes you don't trust people enough. You don't want to you can't trust other people to do certain jobs. So it will make things difficult. Okay. So those are some of the things that small business they will, face. And currently, we have rapidly growing technology, and we also have some shift in occupation and industry. And then, of course, challenges from other countries, global challenges. Like a lot of times when we buy products from Amazon, it's actually coming from other countries, right? So, so even though Amazon is huge, but a lot of stuff they sell might be from a small business, right? A lot of small business use Amazon to sell stuff. So it goes to small business in US, and then there are also a lot of small business coming from other countries. So we are facing a lot of competition as well. So those are the things that small business have to, face and have to handle. And I'm not going to go through this. So occupational industry shift, like I told you guys, when I was a student, there's no way that people would say, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. We didn't even have YouTube at that time. So whatever, job we want to have are like the job, it's, very traditional, conventional. But now you have so many different new things, right? And people can be an influencer. People can be very creative, and you can just, I wouldn't say easily, but you have a lot of access to, let's say, internet. You can sell stuff. I have a friend, his daughter is a very good artist, and she would design, she'll design t-shirt, and she can sell the design online. And she's not making a lot, but that's something better than working at Starbucks, I guess. I like Starbucks, so I shouldn't say that because I want people to work in Starbucks. A lot of Starbucks are closed. Like the Starbucks near me only open for like 2 hours, 4 hours every day because they don't have enough employees. So I shouldn't say that. But at least she can do something she likes. That's the point. Like that's my point. Like she likes to draw. She likes to design. She likes art. So she can do that and then sell it. In my time, we would never, the thing I can think of, if I like art, I'm not good at art, but if I like painting, we wouldn't even think that we could be an artist, because we know, if you want to be a famous artist, it still depends on luck. But the thing I can think of is to be an art teacher, right? But because of the technology and because, I heard a friend of mine in LA, he makes $30,000 a month teaching art to kids. So things are different. Excuse me, let me get some hot water. So if you use the right tool, things are very different. There are so many different things to use, different jobs. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, and downsizing is also a new trend for a lot of companies, because when you are too big, sometimes there's some redundancy in the organization. So you might have resources in same resources in different divisions. So companies are downsizing. I'm wondering who comes in this late, and Okay, so, and then for small business owner, these are the main reason, you know, why people want to run their own business. So you want to have your own independence. You want to achieve independence and you want to get additional income. That's, you know, that's why I started my own business. And sometimes, you know, you want to help the families. And then more reason to start your business is to provide something, you know, either product or service that's not available elsewhere. Okay, so like, have you guys heard of app called Rover? Rover. So Rover is a app, but they kind of provide service for pet sitting, and they also provide opportunity if you want to be a pet sitter. And a lot of people actually, because I started to have, I adopted a dog in the beginning of pandemic, and then I would page slide 19. Satisfying personal objective and then achieving business objective. So I think all the slides are online under under content. I'll show you guys later. So so Rover, I go to this dog park almost every day because my dog is very energetic. I don't know if you heard him just running across the house. And so I met this girl. She is a full-time dog sitter and she make good money, you know, and you could charge a lot if, you know, if you started to have your own client base. So she do everything through Rover. Yeah. And that's why when Rover IPO, I bought Rover stock. And yeah, so that's like the product or service nobody, well, actually we had that service before, but it wasn't this well built. Okay, Rover is really nice that you can search different sitters and, you know, for different services, and they all have different rates, and you can pick whoever, you know, you want, and then they will arrange like meet up, see if your dog get along with the animals they have, or, you know, so it's really nice. So that's something that people didn't think about before. And then the business objectives is usually profit, or sometimes it's the growth, okay, or, you know, provide different type of service. So those are the business objectives. And nowadays we have this small or companies we call social enterprise. So social enterprise are the companies that they combine helping society with making profit. Okay, so in addition to making profit, they give themselves more objectives like helping people. For example, I know some solar power generator companies, small solar power generator companies, they try to promote their business in Africa. So in Africa, because the infrastructure, the construction is not as developed as like in US, okay? So we have electricity everywhere because of the, you know, the lines, the how do you call that? The lines that we built over 100 years, or I don't know when, over, yeah, about maybe almost 100 years, okay? So for them, they don't have that kind of manpower. They don't have that kind of equipment to do that all over, you know, Africa. So it would be more difficult for them to have this kind of infrastructure like we do here. Like here, you pretty much see, you can get electricity everywhere, okay, even in the middle of nowhere. But in Africa, it's not the case. So it's easier for them, for a village to have a smaller solar power generator, right? So I know many different companies, they try to promote that in Africa. So do they still make profit? Yes, they can still make profit, but they're actually helping the society by selling the product in there. Okay, so that's what we call social enterprise. It's not a nonprofit, it's still for profit, but they have another social objective. You know, they're trying to help the community, or they're trying to, you know, like in some case, protecting the environment. So those are the things for small business. And then some characteristic of successful entrepreneurs. So next time, I will post a link to test your entrepreneurial, what's the word? Entrepreneurial index. So you can, so you guys can do some kind of test to see whether or not you could be an entrepreneur, okay? But some of the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs are a desired independence. They have a strong sense of initiatives, not lazy, okay? When you see something, you do it, okay? And they are motivated by different considerations. They expect quick, concrete result. They're able to react quickly. They are dedicated to their business. They are very dedicated to, you know, their time. And enter business as much by chance as by design. So it could be either way, okay? But my dad, whenever he had idea, he would just, you know, execute his idea. But his issue was he changed his idea too much. So he might be interested in doing this project A, and then before he finished, he will move on to project B and C. So he had too much on his plate, and then eventually he couldn't finish any of those. So, let me see, because we have attendance built into the class, but because I record the class, so if you didn't put in, did you put in your real name on the screen? Like, so make sure you put in your name on screen. And next time, when I started to record, you guys can type in your full name in the chat room. So I'll have a record, but now because I record this, so I think this will be, I will go back and then take attendance through the screen. Any questions? So I think I should still do the virtual on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday and Friday. Remember, Friday, no class. I want you guys to, you know, work on your podcast and then go to other people's post, you know, comment on the post. What else? And next Monday, unfortunately, I have appointments, so no class. I mean, next Monday, my appointment is from 9 to 12, so I can't do class. Okay, so any other questions?
Your name is for the first for the podcast on this Friday. Are you going to make any posting?
I cannot hear you.
Your name is in for the podcast.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to try. It's a Taiwanese restaurant. So yeah. So originally I wanted to bring some Taiwanese food for you guys to taste, but I think maybe I'll move it towards the end of semester. Maybe we pick one Friday, and then maybe I'll buy you guys some bubble teas if you guys want. And I don't know if you have time for that, but I will send out some link to see people's time availability, and then we can meet in a bubble tea place, and then and you guys can order your bubble tea. Any other questions?
Miss Wang.
Yes.
Where will we find the instructions for the podcast?
Oh, it's on the syllabus.
Oh, okay.
So let's see syllabus. Let me share my screen. Let me go to D2L. So it's on D2L. Small business. Share screen. Okay, so small business management, and when you click on content, the syllabus is here. Okay, and then we have slides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is old, so I will tell you later. And this is the COVID protocols. So if you unfortunately got COVID, you need to, there's a link, you have to submit something there, so that I think school will send out email to your instructor saying that, you have to be doing virtual and you cannot come to class, stuff like that. Okay. So yeah. So, and then under communication, this is the discussion. So under discussion, you will see different date. Okay, so those are the date we will do the podcast discussion.
All right.
Yeah.
So that would be the instruction. The instruction for the podcast would be there.
Oh, yes, it's under syllabus.
All right.
So on the syllabus, you should be able to see that there are links. So you can see here, this is a link for the podcast, and there's a form to sign up for which podcast, which date you're going to do. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Okay. So any other questions?
Nah, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. See you guys then. So see you guys on Wednesday, virtual. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.